Hi, Pleximus here, and welcome to another episode of Minecraft ATM7 to the sky. And today I want to do something a little bit different. Today I want to answer the question, what is the fastest way to grow mystical agriculture, crops or seeds? And as you can see, Rion has already in one of our last episodes set up a few farms here. And actually what he is using is he's using premium farmland. He is using the lilypads of fertility and a specific harvester. But my question is, there are other methods and ways to grow these crops, to go into mystical agriculture. And I want to find out today, what is the best way? What's the fastest way? And to do so, I was building, as you can see here, a few examples, I would say. I was not going extremely crazy. I was just setting up a few fields with inferium seeds, and I have one exception where I didn't use inferium seeds, but pretty much the same size so that we can have a comparison. Then what I was doing, I let this run for 16 minutes, 60, so an hour. And then I checked out how much essences did the different setups produce. Now, let's get right into it and compare them. The first one is a very simple one. I'm using the inferium seeds, of course, and I'm just using normal farmland. That's it. What we are using in all these setups, and therefore I've built it here, is the harvester pylon. It's very, very cool because what you can do with the harvester pylon is you can put it into the water in the middle of the farm, and then you can switch it on for different areas, 3x3 up to 9x9, I think is the max, or 11x11. I don't want to switch it on right now because otherwise it would also farm the other land here. What you need for that is a hoe. And the best way, or the best hoe that you could use here, is one that is not using any durability. So what I was putting in here is an Unobtainium hoe because it's indestructible. So that would be the ideal setup if you were there. Okay, so I was running this for an hour, and I got out 8 essences. Just 8. That's it. So everybody's telling me mystical agriculture is OP and so powerful. Well, I would not agree with that if you see this setup here. The next one is I was using exactly the same, but I changed the farmland to the insanium farmland. So that's the that's the purple. That's the highest tier that you can get. And the reason why I was using that specifically for inferium, because it will give you more output. So I wanted to show you here with the first farmland that you can produce. Let me show you quickly the farmlands. So you have the first one, that's the easiest one, that's the inferium. Then you have the prudentium, then the tertium, imperium, supremium, and then the last one is the tier 6, the insanium. And I want to show you all 5 of this. The 6th one you can see here. So it's plus 100%, 150, 200, 250, 300, and the tier 6 is giving you 350%. So that means you're getting 3.5 times the output that you would get with a normal farmland. So that's great. Okay, fantastic. Very good. So instead of the 8, I got 10. And the reason for that is because it's not 3.5. I mean, the sample size is far too low, but you will get more. And let me just come to the next one to explain to you and to show you really how much you can get out of that. So the next setup is here, exactly the same as you see before. That's the tier 6 farmland. But what I changed here is, let me go down here, is I was adding 12 stacks of the growth accelerators. As you probably know, and let me show again in the JEI, that's the growth accelerators. Let me quickly show you. Again, you have the different tiers. You have the tier 1, the inferium, then prudentium, again, up to, I don't think there is a tier 6. I think the best one is the supremium. It does not mean that if you go higher with the tiers that you're getting more output or that they're stronger or something. The difference is that the range is bigger. So what you would normally do, you're building up 12 blocks of inferium growth, then the next 12 would be prudentium, then 12 of the tertium, and so on. You get so at the end of the day, you could build 5 times 12, 60 block underneath. And that's really a lot. If you really want to do that, completely up to you. I just wanted to show you the differences. Now we had 8. This was 10 essences. Here we got 17 stacks, 17 stacks out of that. So that's really, really a big difference. So now that you can really understand the output is 350%, what I did, I was setting up exactly the same, but with Unobtainium. And the first thing I wanted to check or show you, it's what we got out here is just 5 stacks. So 5 to a little bit more than 17 is really, there you can see the difference of the output is 3.5 times bigger than with any normal seed if you use the inferium seed on this specific farmland. So that's proven, that's okay. But don't forget, if you want to use that in the higher levels, there are some of these seeds where you have to put the farmland on top of a very specific block, let's say. And in case of Unobtainium, and I think that's the same for all the Modium and also Vibranium, you need to use the magical soil. So if you do that, you can expect from this little field that is just 8 seeds per hour. This is about 5 stacks. And for the inferium, you can get out 17 stacks. So now here a little bit far away so that they are not interfering. You can see what I've done here is just used exactly the same or very similar to what Rian was doing. I was using the Insanium farmland, but I was surrounding the entire field. With lilypad of fertility. And it's absolutely crazy what that did. What I got out of that was 23 stacks. Now, the thing is, I did not use the growth accelerators. So you could even get out a lot more if you would also use the growth accelerators. The reason why I not did it, because I'm not 100% sure if that's really something. If you have bigger fields like Rion over there, getting all of these particles, and I already put the particles down. It's not the minimum, it's a middle way. You have all particles, minimum, and just decreased, and I've decreased it at the moment. But still, it's really a lot. It could, if your server and your client is not good enough, it could break down your frame rate massively. If you have some of these fields that are producing the essences for you, but you will definitely have a good gain with the lily pads is 23. And if we say, okay, just to the normal ones, it's a huge boost. So if you want to do that, if you want to set it up in a field, I would say taking this and then add some of the growth accelerators underneath, if you have the space, that would give you a very good combination of both of it. And you can expect, 30 to 40 stacks for sure per hour. Now, let me come to the possibilities that we have if we're not going and using the farmland, so a classical farm, if we are using energy to produce it. And there we have 4 ways in doing that, at least in the modpack that I found. If you know of other methods than I'm discussing here, please feel free, add it in the comments. I would be highly interested in knowing it. And also give me some feedback how you are doing that. The first one is the garden cloche. And I have to say, I would absolutely not recommend it. It's so slow. It, in 1 hour, produced only 3 stacks of inferium essence. So it's this is running more than an hour, but it was very, very slow. The good thing is it just needs a little bit of power. So it's on the power and it's water and that's it. And then it's producing something. What I did here, I gave it even fertilizer and I was using Insanium farmland. So that's absolutely the best combination that you could use, but not very impressive results. The other one, the next one was the Phytogenic insulator. And with this guy, I had really, really good results. First of all, let me show you where is it? Here it is. I mean, this is really, really easy to put together. You have aluminum gear, redstone flux. It's nothing special. Okay, you can do that if you starting off out and you have your first resources. So it's really good. This guy gave me in 1 hour 12 stacks of essence. So 3 here with the cloche, 12 stacks with the Phytogenic insulator. And if we compare that, this is just 1 block, okay? I mean, it's not very nice, I get that. It's just using water and energy, nothing else, okay? But this guy is giving me 12 per hour. And when we are going back to this setup here with all the growth accelerator underneath, was giving me 17. And it's using a much bigger area. So if you're talking about space and resources, I think this one is really, really effective. Now, the next one was I took a look at the hydroponic beds. This is very often a solution that you can easily put together. The reason why I used 3 here, because I wanted to show you something that is very specific to this setup. I have the sink here, so the water I've connected to the middle block, to the one in the middle, the hydroponic bed. However, if they are connected, they are kind of acting like a multi-block. So you're getting the water also here, and you're getting the water also here. Exactly the same with the power. So this is kind of spreading. If you have large fields, you have to be a little bit careful because it's just going over if this is full. So it's kind of the bigger kind of a range you have, the slower it will be. However, it's really, really good and interesting setup. You just need sewer, so nothing very difficult. Let me show you. Gold gear, here the fertilizer. So you have to set up a passive mob farm and then a sewer where you get some sludge and then build the really do the fertilizer out of it. So, yeah, 1 step to do that, but that's it. Then you can grow whatever you want on it, okay? In this kind of setup, you still need something to harvest the plants. What I was using, exactly the same as before. I was just using the harvester pylon and I put everything in the chest above. So these 3 guys together gave me 17 stacks. So if you just take a comparison 1-to-1, it would be 6 stacks. That means double the stacks from the cloche, but just half of it what the Phytogenic insulator can do for us, but also very, very easy. Now, the last setup in terms of when we're using energy are again the hydroponic beds, but now what we are doing is we are giving them ether gas. And as you can see, it's spreading exactly the same water, ether gas, and power. So you just have to put that once, and then you could make that even larger, and it will all spread in this multi-block if they are connected. And that really boosted the output massively. As you can see here, of course, I have in all of the setups, I have the maximum of add-ons. Let me come to the add-ons in just a second. Because what they are using is very simple. It's a speed and efficiency as a processing upgrade. That's it. They cannot use anything else. But here the output was for all 3 of them about 100 stacks. So one alone gave us in an hour 33 stacks of essences. I mean, that's really huge. The issue here is the ether gas. I mean, it really depends on where you are in the game. Are you just starting off, or are you further into the game? How much do you need from these essences? How much do you want to generate? Because, I mean, that's really, really a lot. 33 stacks is quite some essences. And the ether, that would mean that you need a fluid laser base with some laser drills above, on top of a wither. And I think it is a purple lens that you need for doing that. To get the wither in place and not have to fight them all the time, there is a wither stasis chamber in that mod pack, so you can pull it off. You can do that, and it looks quite fun. And at the end of the day, if you do that, they're just using really not a lot. In the whole hour, it was 4 or 5 millibuckets when I was checking it, so it was not a lot. But you have to use that ether gas. Then if you are pulling together the setup, you don't have to have a harvester. They are putting it into their inventory. I was just taking it out. I was not expecting so much, so they made the entire chest was filling up. Yeah, but that's very much. So that would say, I would say that's absolutely the high end. But you have to set up the whole steps with the wither. Now, let me just explain one of the things that I did with the Phytogenic insulator. First of all, I put in the Phytogrow. I tried it with or without. I don't think there's a really big difference, so forget it. He was not even using that stuff. I don't know why he's not using it, but you can take it off. What was very impressive, it's just using 240 RF per tick. That's not a lot. Also, therefore, from my perspective, very good to starting off. And what I was using, what is important for you is the cyclical processing. Because if you take that out, let me show you. If you take it out, he is more or less using or outputting, in that case, the seed is not reusing it. So if you want him that he is reusing the seed, you have to put in the cyclical processing. To speed things up, you have two possibilities. The one is the linkage amplifier. You can use 2 of them. And the other one is the integral components. That's really 4 times the speed. So that's really important. That's, without that, it's not really working. Or you have to put together, a complete cycle, but that's not really, really nice. So the last one that I want to show you is here, a setup that I was trying to put together, but couldn't make it work. And this setup is with the Harvest Goddess Band from Project E. So if you can see, if I have it in my hand, I mean, it's going like crazy. And this is true for wherever you stand with whatever kind of seeds or plants you have. But I could not really make it work on a pedestal. I put it on several pedestals. Even the dark matter pedestal did not really work. So I don't know. I think they switched it off for this mod pack because the reason why I was building up this this setup was what it's normally doing. If you switch it on, there's a mode where you can switch it on, and you can hear it changing, but it's not really getting red. Normally it's getting red on top. I don't know if I'm doing something wrong here. You can see, yeah, it's a little bit red in my hotbar, but normally what it's doing, it's starting to get red entirely, and then it's breaking the plants, and therefore I have something that is planting a planter underneath, and also a gatherer that is gathering all of the essences. But yeah, was not working. So if you want to start off and you say you want to have something like really a farmland, I would highly recommend the lilypad of fertility. Yes, a lot of sparkling stuff going on. I don't know if you like that, but it really helps. The other thing is build the growth accelerators underneath. If you want to go for a setup that is perhaps just smaller that you can put somewhere where you don't have to look at it. It's not very nice, but it's very effective. Definitely the Phytogenic insulator is the way to go. And one of the reasons why this is even at the beginning really, really strong, I completely forgot to tell you that. If you go to the Unobtainium and you look here, what you need here is the magical soil. And to produce the magical soil, do I have it here? Yeah. You need this here, the Gaia spirit ingots. You are getting the Gaia spirit ingot if you go through the whole progression of Botania. At the end, you have a fight with Gaia. It's a little boss. Not a big deal with our armor that we have in this mod pack. But yeah, you have to do that to get these to get the soil here. You don't have to do that at all in these machines. The Phytogenic insulator doesn't need it, and the same here for the hydroponic bed. So you could easily put in whatever seed you want. I can even show you, but I think you believe me when I'm saying you can take out the Unobtainium and put the Unobtainium directly in the Phytogenic, and it will work and give you very good results. So, as you can see, it starts working, and without any additional soil or something, it will generate the essence. Okay, with that, I hope that helped. I compared all of that, all of these different ways of doing it, and some of them, it really depends how you want to play it, how you want to go through the pack, and in what stage you are. And thank you very much for watching. Please let me know in the comments down below what you're using. What do you think? What's the best way of doing it? What's the fastest way of doing it? And I hope it was a little bit informative for you. And with that, I wish you all the best. Leave me a like, subscribe, and I see you in the next one. Bye-bye.